It was 2013. My life completely changed when I saw this title. And I mean it. It sounded adventurous and strange at the same time. The game I'm talking about is The Last of Us, one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time. And that's not a surprise. Naughty Dog created a fantastic yet simple story that really moved me. I don't want to tell you the whole story and go into detail. Either you already know it or you should experience it for yourself. But what I want to talk about are the things that I think make The Last of Us as perfect as a game can be, and why I think the second part is a perfect, or let's just say, a worthy sequel. So let's go. The Last of Us was ahead of its time, no doubt, with its outstanding graphics that turned your PS3 into a PS4. Characters looked and felt like real people, like real people. I know, but you have to remember that this was in 2013, where some games looked like that. So The Last of Us was a significant step forward. And with the sequel, they did it again. This time, it turned your PS4 into a PS5, I think. But I'm curious how the game will feel on the actual PS5 though. The Last of Us is a zombie game. I know we call them infected, but it's basically a zombie game. The infected are humans who have been infected and subsequently mutated into horrific new forms by the cordyceps brain infection. The resulting creatures are aggressive and will attack any uninfected human on sight. There are various types of infected. Spoiler if you don't want to know them, go to the timestamp. You have 5 seconds. Let's start with the first one, the runner. Actually, they are like humans if you take out the I want to eat you thing. They all seem to have stomach ache, but I still don't know why. Or headache, I don't know. The next one is a stalker. To be honest, they are pretty intelligent. They hide behind objects, are really quiet and absolutely annoying, but still very easy to fight against. And compared to the clicker, a scary son of a mother I will fear for the rest of my life. They stumble around and try to find you with the most terrifying click sounds I've ever heard. Just listen. And they do these sounds because their heads are completely covered by the fungi. But once they have you, it's pretty much over. But nothing is as bad as the bloater. If you see them, run. Bloaters are completely covered by the fungi and can throw big bombs of acid at you. With part 2, we got some new infected like the Shambler and a boss I love and hate at the same time, the Rat King. And I truly love the infected. They can scare me to death, but make me laugh uncontrollably at times.
No.
So they are just the best. Yeah, how can I say it without sounding like a complete fanboy? Fuck it. I love Joel and Ellie with all my heart. They became one of my favorite characters of all time. They don't behave like some ordinary characters or stuff like that. After playing the game, It felt like they would be good friends of mine, and when a game managed to build a connection like this, you just don't want to see them die. And also every other character felt authentic as well. The story, like I said, is fantastic but simple without going into more detail. So again, if you haven't played the game, just go to the timestamp because I will talk a lot about the story now. After seeing Joel cry, the game got me. Just kidding. Part 1 tells a beautiful yet heartbreaking story about loss, love, and hope. Joel, after losing his daughter 20 years ago, when the outbreak happened, is asked by Marlene, the leader of the Fireflies, to smuggle a girl called Ellie. Throughout the game, Joel slowly develops an unbreakable bond with Ellie and a desire to once again open up his emotions that he had suppressed for so many years. And I think we all know the end. Ellie will have to die in order for the Fireflies to successfully extract a vaccine, so Joel decides to save her. However, the game gave me a weird feeling. I was happy about the fact that both of them live, but at the same time, I knew that this wasn't what Ellie wanted. The last thing she said to Joel was,
"Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true."
I swear.
Okay.
and we as a player knew he lied to her. But it's not a cliffhanger. The story doesn't have to continue.
But there's one more thing.
Last of Us 2, baby!
My head's gonna explode.
But I was so happy when it was official that The Last of Us Part 2 will come out after 7 years of development. I was 14 playing it for the first time, and now I'm 20 recording this and playing Part 2. Ellie grew up, and so did I. It could have been a great experience, but then it happened. The whole plot plus gameplay was leaked. It felt like every single person on the internet went crazy. The sequel will suck. Naughty Dog follows an agenda. Feminism the game. It doesn't make any sense. Naughty Dog destroyed a franchise, etc., etc. And me, the little fanboy that I am, thought to myself, what the this can't be true. Naughty Dog, a great studio, the studio that made The Last of Us, now releases the sequel after 7 years of working on it, and it is bad? I just couldn't believe it. I decided not to look at the leaks and waited till the actual release date. And I have to say, and this is my opinion, you don't have to agree with me, but the sequel is, in my opinion, even better than Part 1 in every single way. But again, this is my opinion. Part 2 is a story about love and hate. I admit that I had to cry 5 times playing this game, and that's rare for a video game. Again, spoiler warning, I will go into detail about the story and stuff that, really messed me up. Yes, it's true. Joel dies in the sequel. It was heartbreaking seeing him lying there while Ellie was looking at him with tears in her eyes. But his past actions led to this. It wasn't Neil Druckmann killing Joel. It wasn't Naughty Dog or Sony killing him. People were mad that Joel didn't get his heroic end. And this is also a thing I think The Last of Us Part 2 handles extremely well. Some of us won't die like we see characters die in movies or video games. It can be brutal, and it can be quick.
Shit.
When Jesse was shot by Abby, I was pressing pause and trying to realize that he's dead. It was something I didn't think would happen so fast. Even though it was tragic, I was blown away how good they handled it. What I didn't get was the amount of hate that the game got for having trans and gay people in it. Since Left Behind, we know that Ellie is gay, and it didn't bother us. Why here? Her relationship with Dina is so well treated. Neil Druckmann said himself that they weren't trying to make a gay relationship or something like that. They were just trying to show a relationship. And for those of you who still think, yeah, but they shouldn't whatever. Ellie could have been a man and the story could have been the exact same. It doesn't matter if she's gay or something like that. It doesn't affect the plot at all. And now to Lev. Lev is a Seraphite, that's a religious cult, and he was hunted by the members of the cult because he cut his hair. Because the Seraphites believe that women should look like women and men should look like men. Naughty Dog is trying to portray a struggle many people face. Not being accepted in their community, for whatever reason. And that destroys the story because I just don't get it. And I don't get the hate that Abby got too. Her hate is just the product of what has happened to her. Joel killed Abby's dad. The result is Abby killing Joel. She trained her whole life to get revenge. She even set her love aside. She thought that she could finally live again by getting revenge. The Last of Us Part 2 shows that even though from your standpoint you think you're in the right, that doesn't mean anything. Abby isn't a bad person. Joel wasn't a bad person. In The Last of Us, we don't have good versus bad. We see what hate can do to a human being. Sometimes the best thing we can do is to forgive, to live again. So that was my opinion to The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss anything. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.